Well, the storm system is pushing out. It hasn't really done a whole lot for us down here in the south, but it has delivered some very cold air. So overnight tonight we'll drop right around 32 degrees. In the southern reaches of Lee County, it will be our first hard freeze of the season. So if you got some plants out there, if you live in southern Lee County and back off into far West Texas, you may be dealing with some very cold temperatures for the first time this season, and good reason to cover things up. Right now 60s in Carlsbad, 54 Hobbs, 52 Roswell, so it's been a little bit milder down here in the south, but one only has to look up to the north to see what's going on up there. That storm system has pushed across northern portions of New Mexico and off into Kansas, and with it it's delivered some very cold air and occasional winds as well. The cold front associated with the storm has also brought in some winds with it. You can see 26 in Clovis, 16 Roswell, 30 in Hobbs as it pushes off into the Midwest. A little weak cold front you can see right there. A few storms associated with that front right now, and that's one of the reasons why we're a little bit breezy. But behind this system, we're going to wrap around a little bit of moisture that will keep the northeast into the mix. As for the rest of New Mexico, it's going to be all about the cold air. So as the storm moves out, we'll start to see things kind of rebound tomorrow into the middle of the week with cold nights and mild days, and then a quick little storm off to our north by the middle of the week may kick up a few breezes, especially up north. I don't think it's going to be much of a factor for us down here in the south. And by next weekend, we're tracking another storm. This one, no surprise, is going to be another big wind maker for us because of the track, and it appears it's going to move across Colorado right now, but it's on our radar screens. There's still some uncertainty. It could dig a little bit further south, so just want to make you aware of it. One thing's for sure, behind the storm system, it's going to be cold, and we're going to get what you call radiational cooling. When you've got the clouds, it acts as a blanket, really, and insulates us from getting too cold, but with the clear skies, we're cloud-free, obviously. All that heat that we accumulate escapes into the atmosphere that we accumulate during the day, so we end up with colder nights, and it doesn't really help out either that we've on the other side of a storm system. 26 degrees right now in Denver. How about San Antonio? 71 degrees. Of course, they're not under the influence of the cold air quite yet. They could get shave a few degrees off those numbers as we head on into tomorrow, but 20s up to the north for tonight, 30s down south El Paso. We'll see 50s around San Antonio and even some 70s in New Orleans. Will cool off a few degrees again in San Antonio tomorrow for tomorrow's highs. Meanwhile, still keeping it on the cool side up north with 60s and 70s across the west coast. Those numbers across the southeast, not looking too bad for us. A little bit cooler up in Cloudcroft at 17 degrees, 22 in Ruidoso, and Hobbs 33 degrees. Could be our first hard freeze of the season, so cover those plants up. Highs tomorrow in the 50s to near 60 degrees, and I'll tell you what, we'll probably even squeeze a few 70s in before all is said and done. Could be a little bit breezy by the middle of the week and a slight cool off towards the end of the week, but that next storm system promises one thing for sure, and that is windy conditions with very little precipitation.